Hello, my name is Mary Kate Green, and I am a speech secondary education major. At some point, it seems that everyone stops believing that Santa Claus is real. But perhaps we should refrain from making fun of the magical legend. Ogden Nash shares the fate of one who lacked such restraint in his poem, The Boy Who Laughed at Santa Claus. In Baltimore there lived a boy. He wasn't anybody's joy. Although his name was Jabez Dawes, his character was full of flaws. In school, he never led his classes. He hid old ladies' reading glasses. His mouth was open when he chewed, and elbows to the table glued. He stole the milk from hungry kittens and walked through doors marked no admittance. He said he acted thus because there wasn't any Santa Claus. Oh, another trick that tickled Jabez was crying "Boo!" at little babies. He brushed his teeth, they said in town, sideways instead of up and down. Yet people pardoned every sin and viewed his antics with a grin till they were told by Jabez Dawes, there isn't any Santa Claus. Deploring how he did behave, his parents swiftly sought their graves. They hurried through the portals pearly, and Jabez left the funeral early. Like whooping cough from child to child, he sped to spread the rumor wild. As sure as my name is Jabez Dawes, there isn't any Santa Claus. Slunk like a weasel of a martin through nursery and kindergarten, whispering low to every tot, there isn't one, no there's not. The children wept all Christmas Eve, and Jabez chortled up his sleeve. No infant dared to hang his stocking for fear of Jabez' ribald mocking. He sprawled on his untidy bed, fresh malice dancing through his head. When presently, with scalp a-tingling, Jabez heard a distant jingling. He heard the crunch of sleigh and hoof crisply alighted on the roof. No point to rise and bar the door, a shower of soot was on the floor. What was beheld by Jabez Dawes? A fireplace full of Santa Claus. Then Jabez fell upon his knees with cries of, "Don't!" and "Pretty please!" He howled, "I don't know where you read it, but anyhow, I never said it."
"Jabez,"
replied the angry saint,
"it isn't I, it's you that ain't. Although there is a Santa Claus, there isn't any Jabez Dawes."
Said Jabez then with impudent vim, "Oh yes there is, and I am him. Your magic doesn't scare me, it doesn't." And suddenly he found he wasn't. From grimy feet to grimy locks, Jabez turned into a jack-in-the-box, an ugly toy with springs unsprung and forever sticking out his tongue. The neighbors heard his mournful squeal. They searched for him, though not with zeal. No trace was found of Jabez Dawes, which led to thunderous applause, and people drank a loving cup and went and hung their stockings up. All you who sneer at Santa Claus, beware the fate of Jabez Dawes, the saucy boy who mocked the saint. Donner and Blitzen licked off his paint. Has someone in your family ever done something absolutely bizarre, and when you found out about it, you weren't quite sure how to handle it? Well, in Arsenic and Old Lace by Joseph Kesselring, Mortimer isn't quite sure how to handle his aunt's bizarre new hobby. Aunt Abby.
"Yes, dear."
Oh, you know how you were going to send Teddy to that sanitarium of a Happydale?
"Well, yes, dear. It's all been arranged."
Well, Teddy's got to go to Happydale tonight.
"Oh, no, dear. That's not until after we're gone.
Well, listen, darlings, I'm frightfully sorry, but I'm afraid I've got some shocking news for you. You know how we were humoring Teddy because we thought he was harmless?
Why, Teddy is harmless.
Well, he was harmless, Aunt Martha. That's why he has to go to Happydale, why he has to be confined. Teddy, Mortimer, what has caused you to suddenly turn on Teddy, your own brother? Well, we've got to know at some point. It might as well be now. You see, Teddy's killed a man.
Nonsense, dear.
But there's a body in the window seat.
Oh, yes, dear. We know. Well, you know? Of course, dear. But it has nothing to do with Teddy.
Now, Mortimer, you just forget you ever saw the gentleman.
Forget?
Well, we never dreamed you'd peek.
Well, but who is he?
His name is Hoskins, Adam Hoskins. That's really all I know about him. Except that he's a Methodist.
Well, but what happened to him? He died. Aunt Martha, men don't just climb into window seats and die.
No, dear, he died first. The gentleman died because he drank some wine with poison in it.
We put the poison in the wine because it's less noticeable. In tea, it has a distinct odor. You put it in the wine?
Yes, dear. And I put Mr. Hoskins in the window seat because Dr. Harper was coming.
You mean you knew what you'd done? Oh, well, what are we going to do? You can't just leave him there. We don't intend to, dear.
No, Teddy's down in the cellar now, digging.
You mean you're going to bury Mr. Hoskins in the cellar? Of course, dear. That's what we did with all the others. No, you can't bury Mr. Others? Of course, dear.
Well, let's see now. Oh, this makes 11, doesn't it, Abby? Oh, no, dear. This makes 12.
12? All right. Now, who was the first one?
Mr. Midgley. He was a Baptist. You see, Mr. Midgley came here looking for a room.
He was such a lonely old man. We felt so sorry for him.
Yes. Now, when Mr. Midgley had his heart attack, he was sitting there dead in that chair, looking so peaceful. And, well, we decided then and there that if we could help other old lonely men find that same peace, we would.
What? You know that the old jars of poison up in Grandfather's laboratory?
Well, for every gallon of elderberry wine, I put in half a teaspoon of arsenic, a teaspoon of cyanide, and just a pinch of strychnine.
Well, no, you can't do that. I don't know how to tell you this, but not only is it against the law, it's wrong. It's not a very nice thing to do to people, and what people won't understand. And what I mean is, this has developed into a very bad habit.
Now, Mortimer, we don't try to stop you from doing things you like to do. I don't see why you should interfere with us.
Well, look, I've got to go, but before I do, will you please promise me something?
Well, what do you want us to do?
Don't do anything! I mean it. Don't do anything. Don't let anyone into this house. And leave Mr. Hoskins right where he is. I need time to think. Well, you know I wouldn't want anything to happen to you.
Well, what on earth could happen
happen to us. Well, look, will you please just promise me? Well, we were going to hold services before dinner. Services? Of course. You don't think we'd bury Mr. Hoskins without a full Methodist service, do you? Well, but can't that wait until I get back? Well, I suppose. Oh, then you could join us. Well, all right, remember, you're not going to let anyone into the house until I get back. It's a promise. Well, very well, Mortimer.